Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Olive Rose live stream launch. I am Amy Christ, National Sales Director at Oliveda, Olive Tree People, and we are so happy to have so many of you here in the room, and of course, all of you watching from home all over the country. Let us know, where are you dialing in from today? We would love to know. Drop it in the chat, and also be sure to participate all through the presentation because we have so many fun giveaways for you. Thank you everyone for being here today. We are so honored to have you all in the room as we introduce a new beauty brand to the United States and beyond. And it all started many, many decades ago when our founder and CEO, Thomas Lommel, discovered something very special about the olive tree. So, without further ado, Thomas Lommel.
Thank you, Amy. Can you hear me also in live stream without the mic? No, he needs a mic. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hi everyone. I'm happy and excited also, and especially also for the thousands of people we have today in the live stream. So I want to bring you a little bit information about, the treehouse. You see that here, and what's happened with the olive tree and with me. So I think very important is to understand that when we built the treehouse 22 years ago, I didn't have any idea about waterless movement, waterless skincare, and all that kind of things. So I think the company is built on a complete different way than maybe most companies on the planet. That's me many, many years ago after I healed myself with the power of the olive tree. And I think that is a complete different approach because everything what we are doing is completely intuitive until today. And honestly, I feel very protected. I feel guided since more than 22 years from the olive trees. And the olive tree is, by the way, the reason why we're here in Los Angeles in the Casa Mar today, because without the olive tree, I wouldn't be here. The olive tree really healed me. And when I say heal, it is not that I had a flu or something like that. I wouldn't exist anymore without the olive trees. And that maybe describes also the intimate relation I have since so many years now with these beautiful trees. And when I decided to follow the path of the trees, and I think that's also challenging because I had no idea what to build around the trees. In the south of Italy. So the first way for me as a German was for sure to Italy because I thought Italy is the #1 when it comes to olive trees. Later I find out it's Spain, so Spain is the #1. But when I moved to Italy, first to Firenze, a beautiful town in the north of Italy, then in the south of Italy, in Torre Maggiore, I met this beautiful old lady, Valeria, and she held an olive branch in her hand. Let me do that quick here, because that is so special to me. She held an olive branch in her hand, and she said, Thomas, I told her my story, and I told her that what I all did with, I increased my olive oil consumption up to 50 liters a year, and a lot of other things. I created the olive tree sound bath meditation. You cannot hear me live stream? And then I told the story to Valeria, and Valeria held an olive branch in her hand, and she said, Thomas, what heals you is up to 3,000 times more in the olive leaf, and that is very important, not an olive oil, because we are not an olive oil-based beauty brand. Very important. From the leaves, you do not get an oil. You get something very bitter, green, and very liquid, a kind of juice. So, and that really fascinates me so much that I had the idea to create something, for insight, because I had this experience and I healed myself in a 6 month with the power of the olive tree. And then I did more research what all is in the olive leaf, which is also in the olive oil. But the hydroxytyrosol you only can find, by the way, in the olive tree is up to 3,000 times more in the olive leaf. So, and maybe you want to do more research on hydroxytyrosol. It's really very, very interesting. And yeah, it's a very, very special polyphenol that protects the cells of the trees up to 4,000 years. And that's the reason why these trees are growing up to 4,000 years. That's really spectacular. And in that time, 20 years ago, no one was talking about hydroxytyrosol. If you Google today, for example, hydroxytyrosol, you will find thousands of articles, for example. And you will find, for example, also the biggest universities, they are doing research. And also the ESFA and the FDA, they confirmed that the hydroxytyrosol is the perfect cell protector also for human cells. I mean, how incredible is that? And we did that 20 years ago, all very intuitively. So, and yes, that is the treehouse. And I always got the question, Thomas, is the treehouse real? And I say, yes, it is real. We have really a lot of people, and especially from America this year, they traveled to the treehouse, and we heard so many incredible stories. So the treehouse can be really life-changing. That is what it was, for me. And in the treehouse, then I created the first product, the IO1. And the IO1 is an ingestible. And it is built what I learned from Valeria. So built on the power of the olive leaves. And I think also very important, the IO1. Why do we say IO1? So the I means it's for ingestible, and the number 1 is that is the first product I created. So we created a few hundreds of these, and then we send it out maybe to a naturopath and natural doctors in Switzerland and in Germany. And after 6-7 weeks, we got back unbelievable before and after stories. And you can all read that on the page under olive tree therapy. And that brought me first time in my life to the idea to create more, to create a kind of olive tree therapy as a Mediterranean answer to Ayurveda. So, and I had in mind luxury spas because I have to build a business around the olive tree. That was my idea until today. So, and then I did first time in my life research on skincare, because I had no idea what an eye cream is. I had no idea how an eye cream or how a moisturizer is built. And what I find out is really spectacular for me, because I find out that all the products I looked up had water on the first of the ingredient. I had no idea, honestly, and a lot of people do not have an idea what that means. So, for example, the first ingredient on a product is most in the product. A lot of people do not know that. And then I asked myself, okay, water is the most in the product, for example, in a moisturizer. How is that possible? How much water is that? And then I was asking estheticians around me, and they say, Thomas, maybe 15, 20, 25%. And I find out later, and everyone can find out, it's around 70%. Think about 70%. More than 50% of a product is water. So the idea was born in that moment to put out the water and bring in the elixir, what I learned from Valeria and what we have in the IO1. Because that makes completely more sense to me, because from my understanding, what's best for the inside maybe is also one of the best for the biggest organ, the skin. That is what I had in mind, intuitively. And that is what we did. And then, I mean, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a chemist, but we developed the olive tree therapy. I developed the olive tree therapy intuitively in the treehouse. And then we did, more research, how to build the first skincare product, for example, and how can we replace the 70% water. And that is what we did with the first 5, 7, 10 products. So, and then a few years later, I was living with my family on the beautiful island Mallorca. So my two beautiful daughters, Emma and Magda, are born there, which I really love. So, and what we did in Mallorca is to create the olive tree therapy. What I create intuitively in the treehouse, we brought in the most beautiful spa on Mallorca, the Son Brui. It's a 5-star Relais Chateau. And we created the Oliveira Spa. And we don't want to create something only to, feel better. We want to have results before and after. So for that reason, we send the people first to the doctor and after 14 days as well. And ladies and gentlemen, what we got always is unbelievable. And you can read that on the page under olive tree therapy, the before and after stories. And not only that, we had then also a best-selling author, Birgit Frohn. She is a best-selling author in Germany. She created the first book. And the second book was created by Daniela Jambrek. She was one of the ladies from the Vogue magazine in Germany. And she created the second book, the experiences she had during the olive tree therapy. And the before and after also you can read in the book and also on the page. So that is something really, what I didn't expect, honestly, that we have such huge increase in beauty and in glow and in health and in all these beautiful things only based on the power of the olive tree and the few products I created in these times. So, and then, the idea was born for me to jump into the shelves because I thought, what I have here with around 20 products is spectacular. I have to go into the shelves, so into the retail, and that is what I did. I was going to Germany as a German and to Switzerland and to Austria and to talk with the big retail companies. And what I find out, and that is really something unbelievable, I do not understand that. And we had tons of conversations with the journalists in Europe. Why do we have 50% of the people in Europe, but also in US, suffer from skin problems and skin diseases? I didn't understand that. Until today, I do not understand that. And that is something very, very important. Please, I always ask that question, how is it possible that we do have an increase of 500% skin problems in the last 50 years? How is it possible? And I always ask the question, and the people answer and say, Thomas, that has maybe something to do with environmental. And I said, okay, maybe, but why do we not start what we put every day on our biggest organ? That makes completely more sense to me. So for example, I always bring that up. No one would drink every day a glass of water with a lot of preservatives, right? And no one would have in their kitchen, in their diet, a refined vegetable oil. Because maybe the refined vegetable oil promotes inflammation from the inside out. So why do we treat our biggest organ on a complete different way than the rest of the body? So these are my questions always, and and to find out how to build, and I feel that is a part of our Waterless movement we created in the last 19 months here, in the US with around 40,000 waterless beauty consultants. I feel it is so important that everyone deserves to understand what does it mean if water is the first of the ingredient, or if, for example, in our case, Olea europaea, which is the botanical name for the olive tree, is the first of the ingredient. That makes a huge difference. So, and these are the two simple versions of two formulas. On the left, you see conventional. And if I say conventional, that means also includes the high-end clean beauty products. That includes the organic beauty products. That includes doctor brands. That includes up to $500 creams if on the product is the first of the ingredients, water. So people always say, but Thomas, water is nothing bad. I say, yeah, you are right. You know, the planet is 70%. The body is around 70%. That's true. But if you use 70% water as a base, that means water is highly oxidative. You need a lot of preservatives. And you wouldn't drink every day a glass of water with a lot of preservatives. So that is the base. And then we have to bring that together with the oil molecules, because we want to build an emulsion. An emulsion means I bring together the oil molecule and the water molecule. So in most cases, conventional means the oil molecule is a refined vegetable oil. An organic refined vegetable oil is a complete different thing than a refined cold-pressed, or how we say, not refined, a cold-pressed or bioactive oil, for example, what we use. So that means we have around 70% and up to 25%. For sure, we have the emulsifier between to bring these together. But we are talking now from 95% of base emulsion, where we build now the cream, the product, the emulsifier, the eye cream, etc. And I always ask, how is it possible to build a clean beauty product built on 95% filler? They promote inflammation. How is it possible? What we are doing is, as I said, we put out the 70% water and bring in the highly antioxidative cell elixir of the olive leaf. And that is a complete different thing. And then we combine these with up to 25% of our arbequina oil from our own trees in the south of Spain, and all of them are certified organic. And that means 95% are completely different, and I feel that is one of the things why we are growing so fast in the US, because for most of the people, you know, and that's the difference between direct to consumer, we here in US direct to consumer, and in Europe, we are in the shelves in retail. And I think that is the difference, because a lot of consumers came to us and say, Thomas, that makes so much sense. I never thought about that. I never thought that this is built on 70% water, and why should I pay so much money for 70% water? So I feel that is one of the reasons, because it makes completely sense, and people understand. You know, and also the big magazines. I said that I had no idea in 2001 what does it mean, waterless movement, waterless skincare, waterless beauty. But the big magazines, they communicate since many years now that the next big thing is waterless beauty and is waterless skincare and is maybe also waterless makeup. Because there is no makeup or there is no skin tint based not on water. We are the first, and we will talk in a few minutes. So, you know, we built in the last 21 years not a skincare brand. We built so much more. We built a kind of waterless movement around the olive tree. And in the middle is the olive tree. The olive tree is the star of the company. So on the left, you see we have topicals. In the meantime, we have more than 100 topicals on our page. You know, and different brands. LA Dope, for example, is the first and the only skincare holistic brand combining the two oldest cultural plants, the olive tree and the hemp. And then for sure we have Oliveda. And what's so important also, we have these ingestibles, so the drinkable skincare. And I think that's also such a huge, huge boom and trend, because the people find out that you can do from the inside for our biggest organ, the skin, so much more and more effective than only from the outside. And then we have, for sure today, the beautiful olive rose, and we have the olive tree sound bath meditation. I created the olive tree therapy many, many years ago, the olive tree therapy and the olive tree meditation many years ago. And then we have the coffee replacement, also the only coffee replacement based on the ground olive leaf, because we ground the olive leaf. That means also based on hydroxytyrosol. So, you know, when we started here in US 19 months ago, I would say very brave, because I put out a number. You can see that the press release on the January 11, 2023, and I brought out, we will have after 18 months 30,000 waterless beauty consultants here in the country. And you know what? After 18 months, we had around 33,000 waterless beauty consultants in that country. And I feel also that means so much. That means that the people realize, that the people understand that there is a movement and there is something different and there is something what the consumer really understand and what's really makes a difference. That's the reason why we are growing so fast. So then we had a new press release on May 2024, fastest growing waterless company on the globe, with around more than 2,000%. I mean, we do bring all the products from Europe, from Germany. And sometimes it's really hurtful to grow so fast, because we had really many, many moments and many challenging months where we are sold out with 30 products. You know, and people ask, is that really the future? Yeah, so we fixed it in the meantime. We are now really good, but we had these moments when we had so many products out of stock. But now we are on a good way. And that is also how I would love to describe the growth of the last 19 months. Think about, we started in my garage in Venice Beach. I did 40 boxes a day. I did 40 boxes by myself a day. And I think that's the way how it works. And then we moved in the next small warehouse after a few months with the same people, by the way. They are working now with us. And then we developed in 19 months really a complete logistic and distribution center with I don't know how many thousand square feet. And we did up to 10,000 boxes a day, because people realize there is a difference and they feel and they see differences. So, and this, by the way, is Joaquin. Joaquin will pick you up if you have a trip to Sevilla, for example. And he will bring you to the treehouse, and we are working with the mayor together. We had the last group of people, they joined Sevilla. They had certificates from the mayor, because we are very close with the beautiful town Arroyo Molinos de León, where our trees are. And maybe you know that I started with around 120 trees. So, and I built my tree house. And now we have more than 30,000 trees with potential of so much more. So 30,000 trees, all of them are certified organically. They certified as an ecological olive tree. And that's also very important. You can see that here. Every tree has a name, every tree has a number. And we are the biggest conservationist in the meantime in that area. So I always say that we also have bees, but you cannot own a bee. Maybe you heard about. I always bring that up. I don't know why. Because I feel sometimes humans, we think we can own everything. That's not possible. We cannot own a bee. But we have hundreds of thousand bees, and with the honey of the bee, we produce, for example, and with the ground olive leaves, we build these amazing matcha masks, for example. And you should have that. And you know, I always also bring that up. If you don't like a product, and please give me another company, you have 365 days back guarantee. Do you know another company with 365 days back guarantee? Here in the US, I don't know. I know one in Europe, that is Oliveda, Germany. We do that there since more than 10 years, so it's not a marketing gag. It's what we are doing since so many years and with success. I think that's very important also. And I always bring up how important trees are. I mean, especially in the big cities. I think we sometimes forgot that we couldn't exist without trees, right? We humans. So the trees, they can exist without humans, but we humans, we need the trees. And also, I think it's a very important part in our olive tree sound bath meditation, what we have, to realize how intimate the relation between humans and trees. Because the trees, they really breathe us in, and they breathe out what we humans need to survive. So I think that's also a very important part. So, and that is a beauty I really love, deeply, really, from the bottom of my heart. That is the cycle we create in the last 21 years. And, you know, sustainability is today a big thing, I know, and in a lot of other companies, maybe it's also, especially comes from the marketing department, not with olive tree people, because the tree is the center of everything what we are doing. So we build the whole company around the beautiful trees. And then we built from our trees the beautiful products, the beautiful brands we have, and we really have life-changing before and after. And the water we do not use in our products, we bring to the people in Africa by building water wells. And that's also not a marketing tool, because I built my first water well in 2013 in Senegal. I think that's something I'm really proud about, to create that in the last 21 years. And that is another water well. So we built much, much more water wells in Tanzania, for example, with a Maasai together. And I always encourage all of our Waterless beauty consultants, because next year we will have our first trip together to Tanzania to celebrate new water wells. And I can tell you that is something so unforgettable and so inspiring to do that. I mean, that is also a very important part of the company, to create that kind of unforgettable moments. So, you know, that is also a big part of our, how can I say, of our media, of our, what we have in mind bringing out over the big medias in the next few weeks and months, so that the water we do not use in our products, we bring to the people in Africa. And also when we build the water wells, we will have the names of our consultants on the water wells, on the tanks. I think that's also a big part. And also, you know, and that is very important for today, because also the water of Olive Rose, we will have, not in the product, and we bring to the people in Africa by building water wells. And now I want to share quick something very special to me, 7 minutes from our anniversary in June, when Magda, my daughter Magda, first time communicate to our amazing Waterless beauty consultants what we have in mind for the future and what we will have launched, what we will launch today.
I'm Magda Lamel, and I'm very excited to be here, and I feel extremely honored and thankful to have the opportunity to share my story with you all, and I want to take you along my journey, and I hope you enjoy it. So this is me when I was about 1.5 years old, and I was born on a very small yet beautiful island in the Mediterranean Sea, Mallorca. And if you look closely, you can see that I have a mask on, a face mask, and that one was the black olive mask which is the prototype for the F18 that my dad put on my face. And back then, I didn't know anything about hydroxytyrosol, and I also didn't know that the black olive had the most hydroxytyrosol in them because of the ripeness of the olive. And to be honest, it didn't feel bad at all, so. As I got older, my skin started to worsen, and I wanted to research more about hydroxytyrosol. And my dad always, growing up, told me all the benefits about it, but me as a stubborn child, I didn't really listen, and I wanted to take my own journey with it. But once I started to research, I found out all of the properties, and if you know, there's so many. And for me, it was truly a life-changing moment. Not only my skin changed, but also my health. So to me, hydroxytyrosol is literally a magic potion in a bottle. As you know, I was born in Mallorca, and in the past 19 years, that's not the only place or country I've lived in. So, as you know, I was born in Mallorca, but I've also lived in Germany, Berlin, in Switzerland, and also here in the US, in Los Angeles. And in those past 19 years, once puberty hit, my skin started to break out. I had very dehydrated skin. My skin barrier was completely broken. And I wanted to find products to kind of heal my skin. And I was searching for products from all over the world. So I've tried probably most techniques or methods. I've tried 20 steps, skincare routines. I've tried Korean skincare. And nothing seemed to work for me at that point. And what I didn't know at that time is that most of the products that I've been using had synthetic and very unhelpful ingredients in them that were harmful to me at that point. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see, this is me in Mallorca, sitting in the, I don't even know what that is. And my mom and my dad always make me these Nutella sandwiches, and my dad, of course, made them with olive oil, which actually tasted really bad. But that was me in Switzerland, right above that, and that was me in Los Angeles on the first day of school, and of course sitting in the olive tree. Then my dad forced me to get on. So as I got older, I was then wondering why I've been using all of the products that were harmful to me, and that's when it kind of hit me, and it all made sense to me as of why my skin has been going through such up and downs the past few years in my puberty. And I had such a difficult time in my social life and also my mental health because my skin was bad at that point. I didn't want to go outside. I didn't go outside without makeup. It kind of didn't seem possible to me. And yeah. So, as you know, I lived in Los Angeles, and I went to school there and lived with my dad. And one day when he picked me up from school, I asked him what he thought of the name Rose. And I asked him what middle name he would give me, because I really wanted Rose as my middle name. And he said, take a guess, he said Olive. Shocker. Then I said, well, what about Rose? I really love Rose. So he said, well, why not take Olive and Rose together and make Olive Rose out of that? And when he said that, I was thinking about the time we spent in Mallorca. And I kind of felt reconnected to my roots when I thought about Mallorca, when I thought about the olive oil, when I thought about the olive trees. And whenever I think about Mallorca, I think about my dad and hydroxytyrosol. And that's when we decided, that's when I asked myself, well, why not make something out of hydroxytyrosol and something with my journey of my products that I've used, the products, what effect they had on my skin and my skin journey. So we decided to create the very first worldwide no makeup you will get all the benefits that you also get with all the Oliveda products. So you have your cell protection and you nourish your skin as you're wearing it. And this is our blush. We wanted to create as many shades as unique and colorful as life and nature itself. And this would be our advertising campaign that we're really looking forward to, and we're really excited to see how that turns out. And finally, this is our collection of products. We want to make sure to create as many products from blushes, from skin tints to concealer to glow serums.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Thank you.
Oh my god, he's shaking. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes. Oh my gosh. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Ah. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, and now
I'm Magda Lamel, and
I want to take over to my daughter Magda because she will guide you through the part of Olive Rose. So I will be here if there are any questions, and if you need me, let me know.
Hi, so thank you for being here. My name is Magda Lamel, and we're really excited to launch our skin tint. To me, I hold Olive Rose very dear to my heart. It's, to me, very potent and it has so much potential, and that's why I wanted to introduce to you the very first hydroxytrysil-based skin tint serum. And yeah,
I'm too fast.
no, that's
Sorry
good.
about- yeah.
And no, that's good. So we are not just pioneers in one category, but we are pioneers in two categories. We are waterless, and we are also based on hydroxytrysil, which is amazing. And I've been obsessed with makeup for so many years now, and I've researched the makeup market, and I always look for the next thing in makeup and skin tints and everything. But what is surprising to me is that I've never found a skin tint that is completely based on hydroxytrysil. I usually see skin tint serums or skin tints that are based on water in the first place of ingredients, and as opposed to us, we have the botanical description of the olive tree, Olea europaea. And I mean, you guys can go to your bathroom once you go home and do a bathroom check and look at all your skin tints and see if water is one of the first ingredients. And because we are not based on water, it is also way more potent because our ingredients haven't been diluted with water. And as you can see, the skin tint market has increased enormously in the past few years. I feel like the trend, people are leaning towards more of a natural beauty, that they're wanting to enhance our features instead of masking them. And we also produced our product very intuitively because we only researched the market more thoroughly after producing it. So also combined with the waterless cosmetic market, I mean, it's increased enormously. So we think that combined with the skin tint, that it is the next big thing. So to us, it was very important to see what ingredients we were putting into our product. We wanted to make sure they're minimal ingredients, yet very effective and very potent, and that it's not based on water. So one, we have, it is fragrance-free, it is paraben-free, it is alcohol-free, sulfate, so all the goodness. And Do you want to say anything too?
I think we should say that we did for sure a lot of research on the global, best-selling products, right? And I mean, I learned so much in the last month from my daughters, and I mean, we had competitors we looked up with 42 ingredients, right? And what we build is around 24. I mean, so different.
So we are so proud to start with 18 shades because at Olive Rose we believe that we should be including everyone. We shouldn't just include one skin group, one skin type, one skin tone. And this is just the start. It is increasing, and I've been told from other people that it is amazing because other beauty brands have started with 3, 5, or even 6 shades.
Yeah, and I'm proud to say our amazing makeup artist Louis, he said once on a call to me, I never ever saw a company they start with 18 shades. So we are completely new in that field. We start with 18 shades. I think that is something really spectacular.
And we wanted to make sure, and it was important to us, that we weren't the only ones that thought that our product was effective and revolutionary. So we wanted to look at it in a very objective way and get as honest of feedback as possible. So we did an independent blind testing and compared them to the successful skin tints in the market and wanted to see how would Olive Rose do in all the categories. And the categories would be flexibility, playtime, coverage, how it feels on the skin, how it feels after, and how it feels while you have it on. And we're really proud to say that Olive Rose did amazing.
I think I want to add that we invited makeup artists, we invited models, we invited buyers. I think so important also. And as Magda mentioned, I think how many did we had? 6 other brands or 6 other brands? And yeah, in all the categories we had, we really performed very well. I had experiences with blind tastings with olive oil, for example. I really love blind tastings with olive oil. I never ever had experiences blind tasting doing with skin tint, but it was really fun. And it really also, was that I really deeply believe that we have something very special here.
Here we wanted to show you just how potent hydroxytyrosol is. Very important, it is a cell-protecting ingredient. However, hydroxytyrosol is our star ingredient. We have many other star ingredients as well, such as hyaluronic acid, vitamin A, vitamin C. We have peptides and antioxidants, which are brightening, hydrating, helps the skin texture, and so many more benefits.
And let me add one thing. I think it's similar to the skincare. So if the base is completely different, so I would say 70% not water, then the synergy between the active ingredients and the base is completely different than if you would have, let's say, a water with a lot of preservatives. The synergy in nature works on the same way, and that's so beautiful. When I asked first time Valeria many years ago, many years ago, and I said, I want to build something now. I want to start building a skincare. And how can I do that? Only with the olive tree. What put I together? What can I put together? And she said, Thomas, how nature works. It's very simple. And I love that so much. And we can learn so much from. Because she said, look, go to your olive trees and look what grows around. Because if that would, and that what grows around builds on a natural way synergy. And that is how nature works. It's similar to us humans, So it wouldn't grow there if there is not a synergy. And I think that is how we build also the skincare products, but also Olive Rose.
So this is Olive Rose in our 18 shades. And I just want to give a note that there are no incorrect shades at Olive Rose because our products are so flexible and they adapt to your skin. So we're really excited, and we're really excited for increasing the shades too. And this is our plan how to add on to Olive Rose. So we have our blushes, we have our concealer, we have our lip products, and we're excited to create so much more to that too. And in the first quarter of 2025, we wanted to introduce to you the very first blush based on hydroxytyrosol. And now I want to welcome Amy on stage, who is going to introduce our amazing makeup artist, Luis.
Thank you. Thank you so much. How exciting. So many beautiful colors and products to come. What a beautiful story. And now we have the pleasure of introducing Luis Casco, larger than life here in person as well. And Luis is a bilingual beauty expert, trainer, and celebrity makeup artist with over 30 years of experience in the fashion and entertainment industries. He's served as the lead on-camera makeup artist for Project Runway and has made appearances on Good Morning America and Mexico's Next Top Model. His impressive roster of celebrity clients includes Heidi Klum, Gina Davis, Charlize Theron, and Kristen Bell. And Luis began his illustrious career on the runways of Paris, and he continues to shine backstage at the Oscars and Emmys and beyond. As a best-selling author of 2 beauty books, he is a sought-after global beauty educator, product consultant, speaker, and brand ambassador. And in addition to his remarkable expertise, he also loves sustainability and our mission here at Olive Tree People and our Waterless beauty movement. So we're really proud to align with him on this mission and are eager to introduce many more products that you just saw in the coming months and year. So please help me welcome Luis Casco.
Thank you. Thank you, Amy. I think I have a microphone, but I'll use 2. Why not? My voice always carries, so that's a good thing, probably. Yeah. Is that? Can you guys still hear me?
How are we doing?
Maybe, you know, Amy, maybe I'll borrow that because I have a little surprise. Not a real surprise. Thank you, everyone, and welcome. I am a freelance makeup artist in LA, and I, as you, have been learning about Thomas's story, Magda's story, and of course the whole family. All I have to say is, now I want to have a tree house. Now I want to visit where the tree house is. And of course I love Sevilla and all of Spain. I'm from El Salvador, by the way. That's where I was born. And I came to the US when I was 14. And then I moved to Paris at 22. So I lived in Miami, and then I lived in Houston, and then I went to Paris. So that was kind of a little change. But what I want to tell you about that is that since then, I have worked in about 30 different countries, which really brings me a level of sort of global love and expertise to people of different shades, people of different skin tones, ethnicities. But it's also given me really a love for the way makeup is looked at in different parts of the world. And I know some of you as writers might really agree with that. It is so different, for instance, the way people do makeup in Asia, the way that people do makeup in South America or even in Europe. But one thing that we all have in common is the fact that for me, skincare, I usually like to say this, and it really is true when I'm preparing people, is 70% of the work. So when the skin looks great, or when you're someone like me who sort of knows how to fake great skin for the day, which is something that we have to do a lot for red carpets and things like that, your job is already that much easier. So I discovered and was approached and spoke to Thomas about 2 months ago, and I've been using the product on myself for about 2 months, and I love it. I can just tell you, as an influencer myself, and as someone that gets sent as probably packages like you do, and try so many different brands, This one has been really different for me because it has made a change on my skin that's like, it's been gradual, but it's been very natural. And I saw someone today, my assistant Veronica, that I hadn't seen in a couple of months, and the first thing she said to me was, "What have you done to your skin? Your skin looks great." And I'm like, I've been using regularly this product, and also, and I welcome you guys to do it, I also went home and I looked at all these products, and of course I have a whole closet full of products. And 9 times out of 10, they were products that contain water as the first ingredient. Again, no shade on water. We love water. I love drinking my water. I love water, and I know water is a good thing. But the fact that Thomas came up with the technology to replace that with that olive cell ingredient really makes a difference. It's made a difference on my skin. And the last thing I will tell you about their skincare, although it's pretty vast, they have a lot of products. They're very easy to figure out. It's basically serum, face cream, eye cream. There's an eye elixir that I want all of you to try. It's like a concentrated version of a lovely elixir. I have to talk to you about how to put it on correctly because I put it on my hand or I put the dropper here sometimes. Yeah. But that is wonderful. Yeah. And I use it on celebrities when I'm working on them because it really, along with the eye cream, gives a really wonderful brightening under the eye, you know, that doesn't look fake. So I have a couple of questions for you guys now, and I think I can see who's here as our guest. So tell me, what is your name? Monica. Yeah. Monica. And do you use foundation, or have you used a skin tint or a tinted moisturizer?
Yes, I use Super Goop Glow
Yep.
sunscreen.
Right.
And then I sometimes use a little concealer, but I don't
Right.
wear much.
The Super Goop Glow is a little shaking.
Sunscreen.
Yeah, and it has a little bit of a tint to it.
Yes.
Fantastic. So that's good to know because I will be talking a little bit about that, but that's a great product. I love it too. And what about you? I think I have a feeling what you're going to tell me because your skin is just flawless.
Well,
I want to know what you're using.
Well, I don't use a lot.
Yeah,
Just
that's
really-
what I thought you were going to say.
Really.
Yeah.
No, I have like I think it's called eyeliner, like concealer. I'm not
Right.
even wearing it right now. I'm literally just wearing a little bit of blush.
Right.
That's it.
Gorgeous. Is your skin on the drier end or a little bit? Drier. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Thank you. Thank you. And Victoria, well, I'll get you later. we're going to know. Yes, hi. What is your name?
Lauren.
Lauren. Yes, Luis.
Hi, Luis.
Tell me what if there's a skin tint or a foundation that you like to use?
I use a tinted moisturizer.
Yeah? Which
I
one?
haven't used NARS, actually.
NARS? Yeah.
I
The
haven't-
little
yeah,
glow.
yes.
Right.
And I also use Super Goop Glow as well.
Great. Great.
I don't like a lot of coverage, so
Right.
it gives me that glow and coverage that, evens out my skin, but
Yes.
without being heavy or cakey.
Fantastic. You guys are at the right place. I'm very familiar with both products, so thank you for telling me that. And what about you? Tell me your name. Chelito.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
Where is that from?
I'm Filipino.
Oh, cool. That's one of the places I visited, and I got to work. So, is there a foundation or a skin tint that you like to wear?
I use a skin tint. Not
Yeah.
today I have, but
Which one do you-
Ilia Beauty.
Ilia. Okay, great. Do you find that you have to mix a couple of shades, or you just use
I use one color. so-
one color?
Yeah.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you so
And
much.
it has an SPF built into it too. So.
Oh, it has an SPF too. Yeah. Great. And I nice to meet you. You must be Emma, right?
Yes. Well, obviously, I use
Good to
olive
meet-
rose
Yes.
every morning.
Yes. And yes. And I don't know if we have. Are you one of our guests as well? Okay. Thank you. What was your name?
Tori.
Tori.
Yeah.
Hi. So what have you used before, as far as?
I am in a trial and error. I
Yeah.
feel like I've used everything at this point.
That's kinda like everyone.
So excited for this product.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you like normally? Do you like something glowy or something more matte, or?
Something more matte, I guess.
Okay.
I really
All
like
right.
the natural look.
Right.
I think like all these ladies here. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right. Hi.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
Hi,
I
Cindy.
don't use much because I'm a mess, but when I have a date and I need to appear like I have my shit together,
Right.
I use Ilia. I don't
Yeah.
like the smell though. It has a funky smell to it, so I'm excited to try. All
Do
of
you
those.
find it that it's a little bit glowy or like runny almost on the
It's
face?
sticky, dewy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's what I have found of it.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
beautiful
it's
product.
just that smell. I have acute olfactory, so it bothers me.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, I'm Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
I use
are you?
the Fenty Beauty
Yeah.
tint.
Tint.
Yeah.
Right. Which so you like a little bit more coverage because that one has.
I think it blends really well and it's soft and I don't
Yeah.
use very much. So I put
Very
real
little.
sunscreen on first and then
Right.
kind of blend that in.
Right.
But
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for sharing that. And the reason I was asking you is because I want to make sure that I give you some tips as we go along that go along with some of your concerns and some of the things that you shared. So I will give my microphone here, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. And all of a sudden, all you guys appeared. Yes. So I have Tia here. So I wanted to show you, so the skin tints, which again, having 18 of them is a pretty good number. If you guys are familiar with, we sort of started with, there were tinted moisturizers. I remember being in Korea, for instance, and I was introduced to BB creams about 10 years ago. And they were basically products that just had like maybe one benefit to them, right? They gave you a little bit of a coverage and maybe there was sunscreen or something like that. Then we went to CC creams, which were more color correcting, and then tinted moisturizers, right? You guys remember, and you know, like Laura Mercier and all those tinted moisturizers that became really popular. So the skin tint, I would call it a cousin of those products, but this is the newer, more advanced cousin who has a lot of skin benefits that those other products didn't have. As far as how to find your shade, because I find that a lot of people can get confused by that. Basically, what we've done is they're separated in 4. So at first you look at, is the person light? Is she light to medium? Medium or deep? So we sort of separate them in that. So we have the 18, and it's kind of easy. You can see maybe 1 to 5 is light, or you sort of go along that way. So you first figured it out that way. Then we find out the undertone. Now, just raise your hands. Does anyone know their undertone? You know your undertone? What is it? Olive green. Okay, all right. And you? I think it's yellow. Okay, cool. I love it. So you're like green, yellow.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah, no, exactly, and that's how it works. And I'll give you a really easy tip that you can carry on as to how to figure it out. And it's basically, what does your skin do when you're in the sun, right? So I'm going to ask my friend here, because I know we talked about a little bit earlier, and I know you're going to Tulum, and I'm giving everybody your business, but I am so jealous. Besides around the olive trees, I want to be in Tulum as well.
Hit by the hurricane. Yeah.
Oh boy, yes. All right. So tell me, what happens to your skin when you're in the sun?
I get red.
Right.
And then I do turn, it gets bronzy and brown. The freckles,
Come out.
come out more. And I grew up in California. I grew up in LA, so my
Right.
skin's. Oh, she's.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I should get you the microphone. So, may I? Thank you. Thank you. So, I'll repeat what you said, but you'll have it here in case I have a question.
Got it.
So basically, she says that at the beginning, when she's in the sun, she turns red, and then she turns a little bit more bronze maybe the next day, after you're probably in pain a little bit from being red from the day before.
I don't do often, if
Exactly.
ever.
And then her freckles come out. So basically, that tells me she's a neutral person. So if you go out in the sun and you just get really bronze, that means that you're warm. If you go out in the sun and you basically burn, that means you're most likely a cool person. So that's the easiest way that I find for most people to find out their undertone. Because we figure out the tone, right, by saying she's probably in the light to maybe light to medium. And then once I find out what her skin does in the sun, then I start going with the numbers. And the lovely thing with the whole collection here is that the numbers are numbered from 1 to 18 with some additions there. You know, there may be a 0.8 and a 0.5 as additions, and also additions that can go in the future, but it's pretty easy to figure it out, you know? So for you, and I'm sorry I'm gonna get in front of you here, we figured out that you were at 2, and the reason that you were at 2 is that number 2 is an actual neutral shade. Oh, wow. So as you can see, it's almost, I don't want to say that there's gray in it, but it is in between warm, and it's definitely, I know you mentioned that you were olive, besides green. So usually olives are more neutral in tones. So you might probably be this too. Now this is a serum type of skin tint. This is number 2. Yeah, number 2. So you want to shake it. That's very important, right? Because this is a serum foundation. One thing that's important, and as a makeup artist, I know a lot of those products. This one doesn't have any silicone because, as you know, a lot of primers and a lot of foundations have silicone, but this one doesn't. Okay, so we shake it, and then it's a brand new bottle, so you're gonna see me here opening it.
You got it.
So it's really easy. You can use it as a guide. I would say about half of what's in this little dropper is about what you want to use, about half of it. And then I'm going to show you a hand application. Again, it's a serum tint, so you can use it just like skincare. So I'll just put it on my hand. I will apologize that my hands are a little cool.
That's okay.
So, and then, let me put it here so I don't get in front. So I'll basically press, and then I will get here, and I will press it on your skin. At that moment, I am just sort of feeling to see and watching where it is that you will need a little bit more coverage. It's a very buildable coverage. It's also a product that has a glow, but it's not a pearlescent or too much of a glow. It's a very radiant look to the skin, but you're not shining like, you know, disco ball at Studio 54.
Feels amazing.
Cool. And then I will do a little bit more. So that will be so that you guys can see sort of a hand application. Look at this. I'm going to do some more on one side so you can see how it builds. And it's the perfect product, I think, for someone with freckles. Because, you know, you don't want to hide your freckles. Right. You might want to tone them down a little bit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But that is about what we want to do. And I'm doing half so that you can see what basically a little bit more of a layered application. One thing Magda said that I love is this is a very forgiving product. So even if you're like one shade off, you can probably still get away with it, and it's still gonna look great. But our goal, of course, is to give you the right shade. Although when you come back from Tulum, you might not be a 2 anymore.
Do I look like I'm gonna sit in the sun?
No, you actually don't. But you know how the sun is, it can creep up on you.
It chases you, yes.
Especially if there's a margarita involved where you're going.
Exactly. Maybe one.
Maybe just one, that's right. So this is pretty much hand application. And I toyed with the idea of you applying it, but I thought it might be hard for you to do it without a mirror. So I put a tiny bit around the eyes, not getting too close. And of course, whatever's left, don't forget, down the neck.
It feels so moisturizing. Like it just feels so good.
So great to know. Tell everyone, so I want to let you know that we had another event and we had these same models before. So they have worn the makeup for hours. So were you telling me earlier that you thought about wearing it?
Yeah, I have dry skin, and so I wore it. We were here, we got to do the application, and then I wore it all day, and I just felt the glow. I felt moisturized. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun surprise to work for a company and then love the product, which is,
About how long would you say you had it on?
Okay, it was the same time frame, right?
Right.
No, I wore it into the evening.
Into the evening.
Into the evening.
Great.
And it stayed. And
Stayed on.
Stayed on.
Perfect.
Felt glowing.
Perfect. And then the last call out I will do here for those of us who are more mature skin or drier skin. As you can see, it glides right on any fine lines. It is a fantastic product for more mature skins or anyone who has fine lines or any imperfections like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How are you feeling?
Glowing.
Okay, great. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank
And
you.
I will move over here.
Okay.
Or maybe you can come over? Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, Ari. So you're like, I didn't know I was going to talk. But you may not. You may or may not. But you can definitely tell me what you thought, because last time you had it on as well.
Yeah.
So one of the beauty, the most wonderful things I think about any line is inclusion, right? And of course, we have Ari here, who's like the most gorgeous skin tone. And we have just the perfect shade for her. It's number 14. And the way that I want to apply it on her is going to be with a sponge, just to show you the flexibility of how it applies. Pero can you put some on there for me? So we've already prepped everyone's skin with skincare, by the way. We used face cream and we did a little bit of eye cream. I think we might have done a little bit of brows on you and just some of their lip balm. I'm such a huge fan of the Olive Tree People lip balm. You guys have to try it. It's fantastic. All right, so here's 14. We're gonna use the sponge, just the damp sponge. And I'm gonna do one side so that you guys can see. And it's the perfect makeup, no makeup look, because basically her skin just looks better without it looking like she's wearing makeup. This is the kind of product you need for castings, right?
Yeah.
Because you just want to do like a little bit where it looks like you. Right, right. Another thing, guys, is that this product works really well with other products. So, for instance, if you feel a little too glowy, you can always use powder, or you can also use maybe a little blotting sheet just to take down a little bit of the glow. But look how beautiful. I've just done one side of her face, and it gives her that really gorgeous glow. Let me see so I can see. Perfect, perfect. One thing I was able to use this also on a woman of color is a lot of women of color have a couple of areas that are maybe darker or lighter on the face. It's the perfect also product to sort of blend things together without it making it look too much. You know, like you're wearing too much makeup. So I'll do the other side. What did you think about it last time you were
I took
wearing?
selfies I took selfies right outside.
Oh, you
It's
did?
Really nice, yeah.
So that means we have to go on your Instagram to see what you look like?
Exactly.
Okay, great, great. That's a good sign when a model takes a selfie of their product they're wearing.
Yeah, it is.
That's usually a good sign, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it does
Okay.
feel very light. It feels like skincare.
Great. As it should, because it really is skincare. And you know, I know that some of us, and I see that you have maybe, were this little acne marks that you had from the past, or was it hyperpigmentation?
It's just my birthmark.
Your birthmark, there it is, there it is. So it's perfect because again, it softens it up, but it looks like you. You know?
That's what I love about it.
Yeah, cool. So there you go. And just so that you guys know, if we wanted to highlight her, there's a shade in between 13. There's a 13.8, I believe. There's 12. We can do all kinds of things with this product, and I'll show you later. But I just really wanted you to know the type of shades that are available as well. So thank you so much. Thank you. And maybe we'll go, who do we go next to? Oh, you're getting an applause. Okay, an applause. Take a bow, take a bow. Thank you. Renita is next. Thank you. Here we go, Renita. I'll give you the microphone.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Renita, you also, I think you were telling me about wearing it last time, right?
Yeah, I really was surprised at how much I loved it and
Right.
how glowy my skin looked all day without looking like makap that wore and got creasy or, you
Right.
know, it was,
Right.
felt great and it looked beautiful.
And I want you to know that they literally told me all these when they came this morning. None of this has been prepped. We haven't even talked about it. You're getting really live experiences of people who have been wearing the product. So what we've done is we've added a little cream blush. So what I want to show you is sort of an underpainting technique so that you can see that it's a product that plays well as well with others. And there's nothing more beautiful. If you guys ever want to try, just do a little bit of sort of, you could do a bronzer or you could do a cheek color or a blush. And we do it in a cream way right underneath it. And then we're going to use her shade, number 7. Okay. So you know what? I'm going to give you a little bit more of this cream blush. Right now we're cheating. We're not telling anyone what this is. All right, let me see. But I really wanted to show you. Also, tell me, is it Chelito again? Chelito is the name? Okay. You know, in my country, Chelito means, you know, someone really light, fair skin. And this on a man is also really pretty. You can add like since you're gonna have the shades, a little bit of a darker shade. It almost works as a bronzer. So you could put it on before, just very lightly, and then add the product on top the way I'm gonna do it. So I'll use a sponge again, and then I'll go right over that. Then it gives you that sort of blush from within look. And you will also see the gorgeous glow that you get. How does it feel when I put it on the skin? Do you feel, is it cooling? Is it?
It's cooling. It really does feel like skincare. It feels like, you know, if you go for a facial and they're doing like all the beautiful skincare on you and you're laying there going like, oh, I want to know what that is. Like that's what this feels like.
And you walk out of there, you're
just
glowing.
glowing from the inside and the outside.
Exactly.
The other thing that just struck me, someone was talking about scent of other products, and I'm really, really scent sensitive, and I love the smell of this product.
Right.
It's like just a really good feel good.
It's an aroma, natural aroma, right, as opposed to a heavy fragrance.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Wow, your skin looks just
Feels
amazing.
so good.
And we'll just give you a little bit more blush. So look at that. So I'm creating a look where I'm putting, sort of layering the product. I'm putting a blush over it. I can certainly do powder over it if I needed to. But what you have here is that really beautiful, healthy skin and glowing skin. So thank you, Renita. Thank you so much. And now we'll have Yoni. Thank you. Hi, Yoni. Cool sweatshirt. I wonder where you got it.
Yeah.
Olive Rose.
Olive Rose. Okay, cool. So also you were here last time and you wore a little bit of it. So what is her shade, Vero, that we figured out? She's 7. So what I did with Yoni so that you could see is we applied her skin tint number 7. about an hour and a half ago. So you can see sort of what happens after it's been sitting for a while. You can see how beautiful it looks. It looks just as fresh. And we just applied about one quick coat of it. So I'm going to apply a little bit more. Let me use a brush this time for fun, just certain areas. I think you might have touched your nose a little bit here. Wow, your skin looks beautiful. Looks absolutely beautiful. And this is a little birthmark you have as well?
No, that's a dark spot.
A dark spot, okay. So look, maybe we could show over to the camera. So she has a dark spot here that you might see. So I'm gonna show you how you can basically spot treat with the skin tint. Look how much we take that down, but it still looks natural. It's not gonna look matte or like it's like sort of stuck on that area. It just gives a really beautiful, glowy correction to the skin. And the last thing I want to show you is we're going to do a little bit of contour and highlight with it. What are my shades, Vero? Okay, so I'm going to use a number 3 to highlight, so you can see how natural that looks. Sorry if I'm getting in front of you. I'm applying a tiny bit of number 3 on the bridge of her nose, and number 3 is here. Perfect. And then on tops of her cheeks. It makes the most beautiful highlighter. Wait till you see it on. Look at that. It's just a natural highlighter. Basically, you have no sparkle, but you're creating that shape to the face. So especially some of you who are maybe writers, and all of us, when we want to communicate to the public, we want to give them tips that they can really use in real life. And sometimes contouring and highlight, I feel, becomes something that just becomes, people can't figure it out. And this is a very easy way to do it. So I'm going to go on this side, and I'm going to give you a little bit of highlight here. I did it on the nose, and I'm going to cover this a little bit the other color. So again, it just creates a glow. It creates a highlight without it being too pronounced or too much. And lastly, I'll do a little bit of contour with shade 10. So just to repeat, I've used 3 shades, 3, 7, and 10. So this is shade 10, and we'll do a little bit here, our usual contour. I always like to tell people that when I'm contouring, I like to end where the eyebrow ends, because if you start getting too close this way, we start looking a little bit like special effects, if you know what I mean. Here we go. Natural contour. I call this contouring for real. You know, like the kind that you can really wear. Exactly. And you will make such a difference when you see yourself in pictures, when you've done a little bit of contour like this with a product that's sheer to medium coverage that you can totally build. It really creates a difference in the way that your face presents. All right, so we're doing this. So as you can see, my goal was today to show you the flexibility of the product, to show you that you can layer it, that you can use different techniques that even you would think about that you could only do with a foundation. You can even use it with a product like this. Again, it's to me a unisex product, so I think it's a great product for guys. It's great for someone who's having a picture taken and they just want like a natural look for the day. You're not going to be able to see heavy demarcation marks or anything like that. So I think they approve. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I think we stay here. Maybe do we stay here? I want to know what follows. Amy.
Hi.
Thank you.
Hello.
Amy
Wonderful.
with 2 E's. I love it.
That's right. Luis with 1 S.
Yes.
Beautiful. We have so many questions coming in, but I think
great.
we'll start here. What questions does anyone in the room have based on what they've heard right now?
I have
you-
one answer.
You have an answer to a
So
question.
now you know
earlier.
that you're not green, that you're more neutral. Okay? And maybe you have a little bit of yellow, but you might be a little bit more warm. Okay, good. Thank you. I've answered that question. Thank you so much. And yes, Chelita. You would use the.
Can
the
I repeat
skin
the
tint-
question for
Sure,
the live
please
stream?
do.
So the question
Absolutely.
was
When to apply SPF.
when to apply SPF in the process.
So the skin tint, I believe, has a mineral SPF, correct? But it's not right, titanium dioxide, which is not a numbered SPF. So yes, if you needed to use SPF, I would apply it beforehand. Yeah.
We're getting questions on the scent. And Thomas, I know that you've shared the aromas that are inside of the product. Can you share in detail what that is?
So we do not have a scent. We have an aroma. That means, it's something you can eat, and it's a combination of vanilla and lavandula.
And that vanilla and lavender. Yes, that's a good question. And everyone is asking about the product line in general. And so, what to expect. I know we're not going to share all the dates, but, as far as the rollout for the line, what our plans are for that.
I mean, today we start with 18 phenomenal shades. I feel that is really huge. And as Magda already mentioned, we will have end of quarter first our new blushes, and I feel that is also very exciting.
Yeah, what he said. Yeah.
Okay, the questions, this is how fast they're coming. So yeah, it's very tricky. It's, if everyone can please slow down the questions so we can read them. They are loving the vanilla and lavender. So the official launch date for customers is December 3rd. And so what's exciting right now is that you get to take the product, try the product, join our master classes online with Luis, and really get to experience it and share it prior to the launch. And you might also get some very interested customers that are wondering what you're doing. Maybe they weren't into skincare as much, but then they're understanding that we have a beauty line coming out, so they might be excited to join our community and our movement. Let's see here. Literally vanilla and lavender, that's all they're repeating because they think that's part of the giveaway. So, okay, so does the skin tint, shelf life. Let's talk about shelf life of the product.
Yeah, that's also very important, shelf life. I mean, thanks to hydroxytrosol, we have an amazing shelf life. I think you know that if you have an open jar on the back on the bottle, that means a total shelf life of 36 minimum. And then you have to look after opening what's between, in most cases, between 6 and 12 months.
Another question?
Yes.
Another question on the bottle. It's frosted glass.
Yeah.
Is that enough to preserve the product from photosensitivity?
So the question is that the glass is frosted in photosensitivity with the product.
Yeah, very, very good question. Thank you for that. We have we have the amber, and here we have now because we want to have to see the shades, the different shades. I feel that's also important. But to answer the question, yes, it is. We did a lot of testing, and it is absolutely stable. Yes.
Excellent. Okay, let's see if there's another question coming through. they're asking they want all sorts of products. They want hydroxytyrosol, every product you can put on your body. That's what they're asking for in the comments right now. Okay, so here's a question. It's so hard to read as they fly through. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, Luis, question for you. Shade with the shades up and down, as far as where to go. If you answer and you're a 5, should we go up? Should we go down? Does it depend on the season and what's going on with the sun?
Absolutely. I would recommend everyone to have at least 2 shades, depending on the time of the year, depending on the Tulum vacations or such. So, and also because it's a very forgiving product again. I am never one to use a foundation to make someone look tan or to make someone look pale. But I think with this product, you can use it as a bronzer, you can use it as a highlighter, like I said. And because of the numbering system, you might choose to go up 1 or even 2 or even 3. So it's all about trying it, but it's very easy to blend, very forgiving. And so, yeah, it's very flexible.
And talk a little bit about, if you haven't already, the transfer in humidity. You've been experiencing the product now for a few months, so talk a little bit about that, please.
Well, what I've been doing is, of course, we've been in Los Angeles, where we have a little bit of a drier climate. And I felt, and I have worn it myself for a full day, and I haven't had any issue. So what I would say is, if you are someone who lives in heavy humidity, you might want to add a little bit of powder, or again, get you some little blotting sheets where you just blot the sort of T-zone area of the face, because that's where you don't want to look too oily. But in my experience, I haven't had any issue like that with this product. So I would say embrace the glow. And as you can see around me, it is a glow. It is a radiant look. It's not as sparkly or pearlescent look like some other products have. Yeah. And you look beautiful too, Amy.
Oh,
I can see the
glow. I had this amazing guy do my makeup earlier. I don't know who he is. So question about, if somebody is a 2, how many numbers should they go up to get a bronzed look? What would you suggest?
I would say try something like 5.
Okay.
Don't be scared
So
to go up
Hillary,
from
that
like
was
a
for
2
you.
to a 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned this in the beginning, but a lot of our viewers are just popping in now. What is the benefit and the absorption rate of the actual skincare that you feel with the hydroxytyrosol in the skin tint? So you were talking about the benefits of the product earlier. So can you just talk about how people have been noticing your glow and what that means for this product?
Right. Well, when I am prepping someone, and now, I mean, I know we talked earlier about my career was started in Paris, and I was with all the supermodels and doing all that backstage at fashion shows. And now I work, yes, with models in their 20s, but I also work with celebrities. I know I said it last time, but for instance, I just did someone for the Emmys who was 80. So Candice Bergen, you might have heard about her before. And again, it's a product that you can use, you can blend, it just works. So that's really what I can tell you. I've been trying it, and so far I have no criticism from me. I would tell you if I did.
That's great. And you've shared the blender and the brush. Can you talk one more time about the difference between the two and how you use them for different techniques?
Absolutely. So there are your fingers, and I feel that most people will use their fingers because it is a serum type product, so you can apply just like you apply your skincare and do it very fast. A brush can give you a little bit more of a targeted application. I think you saw on her little mark here, I was using a brush. And the sponge gives you more of that flawless finish. So again, it's a skin tint, and we don't think of a skin tint as something that you can add layers to, but with this one you can, and you can get about a medium coverage that way. Yeah.
Fantastic. I think that's all we have for today. Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone watching. We will post all of the questions and answers to our giveaway. And just so you all know, actually live on the website right now, you can purchase your own Olive Rose hoodie. It's live. So thanks everyone for joining us, and we will see you again soon.
Thank you.